Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, we have no football until later tonight. The Buckeyes play at 4, and then, which is not really tonight, I guess. And then the Colorado Buffaloes late tonight at 10 o'clock. Yikes. Competing with my girl, Valentina. I don't like it. Well, so then I guess we'll talk some Phish. I missed a day yesterday, and perhaps we'll get a later evening Buckeyes recap. We'll see. I don't know. It's Western Kentucky. I don't know. I hate to make promises on things like an Ohio State Western Kentucky game, but what really was been on my mind the last few days, or ever since the festival was announced, I noticed, it's been a while, but not that long since Magna Ball. Way, way more. I guess it's a sign that not only is the band getting old, so are Phish fans, because way more people are interested in like RVs. They want some kind of VIP. They want hotels. They just seem fewer people seem interested in camping, especially 4 days, maybe even 5 days, I suppose, depending on how it goes. 4 days, 5 nights. I don't know. I don't know what the situation will be. So I don't know. That's just a little bit stunning to me. I think as recently as Magna Ball, you're a little bit soft. You're a bit of a poser, somewhat of a chomper if you were not into camping and you wanted a hotel. Be like, oh, look at Mr. Bougie over there. He's not horrid. That guy probably likes character zero. If you want a hotel, the odds of you wanting to stay at a hotel at Magna Ball and you going there rooting for, was Moore a thing yet? I don't know if Moore had been born yet at Magna Ball now that I say it. Santos certainly was not. Okay, character zero and Julius and Possum. If you were getting down with those three, if you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to Magna Ball, I'm hoping to get a sick possum, you probably stayed in a hotel. You wanted nothing to do. You didn't like, as one guy put it on Reddit, he didn't want to stay in the shit. Guys chasing possum, they want nothing to do with the shit. I think, so, I mean, look, it's normal, though. Just like as the band's gotten older, things are natural. Whether if they're not, like silly and ridiculous like they used to be. They're not just this, like, insane hungry, high-paced, high-tempo, just in your face every single night. That also makes sense. I guess it would also make sense that a bunch of geezers don't want to camp. If you were camping out at Clifford Ball when you were like 19, lots changed, man. A lot has changed. You're like, well, I gotta call my wife. In fact, my wife's gonna stay in the hotel. I don't even know what that situation's like. I don't know what's going on. Do you take your kids? Ugh, don't do it. We had at least one guy bring a dog this year. I got no problems with people want to take their animals places if the animal's cool with it or whatever, but apparently this dog was not cool with it. Of course he wouldn't be. Bunch of crazy people, noise, the band, I don't know. I just doesn't seem, I mean, your dog's pretty rad if he's into a concert. And I know, I've seen them. I've seen dogs dancing before. And then another guy wanted to know, like, kind of what's the difference? What do you think makes the difference between a bad show, a good show, and a great show? Well, sometimes just really horrible playing can make a show bad. Bad debuts are another thing that can make it bad. And then even if it's like good songs and there's some jams, but if it's too many overplayed songs, like say the playing's relatively good and you get a couple of jams, but then the first set you had like two debuts that aren't really ever going to make an appearance again, like those type of debuts. Now every now and then there's a debut that myself and others may not be super into, but then after a while it grows on you or something, like Leaves and Thread. Although Leaves not growing on everybody. And then there's some other song like the Soul Planet, Set Your Soul Free. I mean, imagine if those are the two biggies of the night and you got some bad debuts. Ugh, not looking good. Or if there was just like no jamming or just a bunch of like 11-minute, 12-minute songs. Those seem to be the songs that are less favorable, that get the less favorable ratings. And then other times it could, who knows, other things could affect it. Like, sometimes I don't like the shows where they just play a song, there's a little bit of a break, and they play a song and a little bit of a break. Or if it just has the feeling of just song after song after song, all essentially played how they're played on the album, with just no improvising at all, not even like some type 1 jamming, like these 11-song first sets, something like that. So that could lean towards the bad end. And then, what makes a great show? Obviously, the playing's good. You're going to have multiple big jams, not just the one big jam of the night. Although you can have a great show with only one big jam. And, going all the way back, you can have a great show with no jams, but we're talking a long time ago, 30 years ago or something. So automatically, almost, if you have 2 or 3 big jams that are somewhere in that 15 to 22-minute range, people can't decide which their favorite is. You know, everybody's got a different favorite. That's usually signs of a good show. They can get away with some nonsense there. You know, even if one of those 3 is like Soul Planet, it's all right. You know, if the other one's whatever, Down with Disease and The Wedge or something, you know, that also helps. A song that's not always not like a Tweezer, a Carini, Down with Disease. Like you always get those. But maybe if you get like a big Sense and Subtle Sounds, or 20 years later, most events aren't playing, something like that. The Well, the Howling, those back to back. Stuff like that can get you up there. So if you go light, just even going light on the overplayed songs, it doesn't need the big monster jams, although one would help. But let's just say there's no soul songs, there's no Down with Disease, no Wolfman's Brother. Like all of those songs kind of get replaced with stuff that you don't hear a lot. Instead of Wolfman's, you get A Taste in the first set, and then the second set, instead of like Fuego, you get McGrupp or something. I don't know. Or instead of Another Sand, you get Pebbles and Marbles. Big sand guy, by the way. I don't mind the overplayed songs. I try not to complain about that, unless it's like starting to be like a Soul Planet, a song that's just not doing a whole lot. Even Sigma Oasis might need to step it up a little bit. Chalk Dust Torture, I saw the most played song of the year so far, or at least starting in April. So I don't know. I think that just about covers some Phish for the day. Dan Z, hope you're doing well. I don't know if Dan Z made it this far. He's tired, man, working hard. Spud, Vegan Maid, hope you made it here. Everybody else, Mr. Plotz, Steve, is it? And yeah, Wally P. Doyle. Wally P. Doyle's not here. He comes in for the good stuff. Boom, we're out of here. So what was this? More on the festivals and what makes a show good or bad? Tell you what makes a mustache good or bad. I can't describe it. Couldn't describe what makes a mustache good. But when I see it, I'm like, yep, that's a good mustache. You gonna disagree? Come on. I don't care if you like mustaches or not. Mary, not a big fan of mustaches, turns out. I told her if they open with hood, I'll shave it.